All right, good morning, everyone. So we've got about 30 minutes to the opening bell, and today is the first day the morning show is back streaming on YouTube. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we're also streaming this morning on Facebook as well. So you guys can tune in there for those that are on Facebook. So before we get started, maybe what I'll do is sort of set level expectations in terms of what I'm looking for, what the goal is. So I'm sitting down here. I've already been sitting in front of the computer for a little while. I have already taken one trade, which was a $27 loss. You'll always see in the top corner right here when I'm trading my P&L. So that'll show you if I'm in a position, if I'm out of a position, and what my profit or loss is. So that's transparency right there. You could see when I'm in or out of a trade. So right now I have no trade, it just says closed position. All right. So my goal each day as a day trader, and I'm a trader who's trading for income. So I'm not speculating on, trading and hoping to make $1 million or do something crazy. I have a goal of trying to make a little bit of money each day. And my daily goal is 5,000. So I've been doing this for a long time. I've got a high daily goal. I've earned the right to put it there. Your daily goal most likely will be a fraction of that. Maybe it's, $50, $100, $200, maybe $500. Most likely it's a fraction of my daily goal. But in any case, for me, what I found to be the most consistent way of hitting that goal is to try to find one or two opportunities where I can capture 15 or 20 cents per share out of the market. And if I could do that with 10,000, 15,000 shares, I can make my way up to my daily goal. And of course, there's times where I end up having a trade that ends up going 30, 40, 50 cents, or even $1 a share. And those put me well over the daily goal. So if I'm looking for an opportunity to hit a 15, 20 cent winner, I'm sitting down each day and I'm looking for something, number one, that's moving. All right, so I need a stock that's moving. I need the rate of change. So at a minimum, I'm not going to look at something, generally speaking, if it's not up at least 10%. So I'm looking for a 10% mover. Typically, I'm going to look for a stock that's priced between $2 and $20 because I can buy more shares and I can get a bigger percentage move on a lower price stock. I like to see stocks that have news or some type of catalyst. A catalyst can be a strong daily chart. That's okay too. News is preferred. I would also like to see that the stock has high relative volume. So whatever is normal for the stock over the last 30, 40, 50 days, today it should be many times higher than average. That higher average volume is a really strong indicator that people are interested in the stock, and that's usually when we see really good follow through. And then lastly, I want to see the number of shares available to trade are ideally less than 20 million shares. So a float of less than 20 million. So that's what I'm looking for, just to set your sort of level expectation. I'll remind everyone right now, and as we go through this morning show, that of course my results aren't typical, and you should always trade in a simulator before you put real money online. Okay, so practice a simulator, and then once you've proven profitability in a simulator, then you can step up and trade real money. All right, now some of you guys might be using a free commission broker where you could trade with no commissions whatsoever, and that would allow you to kind of treat it like a simulator by trading with 10 shares. And that's fine if that's what you prefer. But don't put real money on the line until you've first established metrics, consistency, and you could support trading with real money. All right, so let's get into the first step of the day, which is breaking down the watch list and seeing if I can find some stocks that I think have the potential to give me that 15 to 20 cent winner. And I see on Facebook, it didn't take long. We've already got a 40 Bitcoin bonus. Bitcoin scammers have come out quick. Unfortunately, this is prevalent in all social media, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. It's just part of the deal. So ignore the cryptocurrency spammers that are going to be in the room. All right, so let's see. So, and again, just to get you guys oriented, it's been a while since the last morning show. As we sit down, this is the screen that I'm usually looking at. This is my a scanner and a chart, and this is all integrated into the day trade dashboard, which is what Warrior Trading is using for all of our students, Day Trade Dash. All right, so let's see. So our leading gapper this morning is actually a reverse split stock. So I'm going to disregard that because it doesn't have any volume. Next one down is GHL. GHL is our leading percentage gainer in the entire market at 115%. But you see how it's trading like this, trading sideways? Because it's a buyout. The stock's been bought out, and it's not going to trade with much range anymore. It's just going sideways. All right, so that's GHL. Next one down is AVRO. AVRO, the first thing that I noticed is that the price is $1.43, which means it's a little on the cheaper side. I prefer stocks between 2 and 20. So below 2, it's a little below my cutoff, but then the float is also 43 million shares. So now we kind of have two problems with it. The float's a little high, the price is a little low. That's not really preferable for me. All right, so I'm gonna leave that one alone for right now. VECT, Victor Echo Charlie Tango, VECT. We're at $16 a share with a slightly higher float as well, 54 million share float. So again, I could pretty much disregard the top 5 gappers because of float or buyout, one or the other. And now we have MBOT, and this one's up 30%. So this one's already put in a little bit of a move this morning. My problem with it is that it's on the cheaper side. The float is fine, so no issue with the float, but it's on the cheaper side. Now, despite being cheaper, it did put in a nice move here from about $1.20 up to $1.80. There was news on this a little bit earlier this morning. Let's see. Was it 8:30, bottom of the hour? Was it 8:30? Yeah, MBOT achieved 100% success rate for Liberty in extensive preclinical animal study performed by leading European physicians. Okay, so that was the news, bottom of the hour at 8:30, and that sent it pretty much immediately moving up. One of the tricky things with news is that there's news headlines that, and we have a news feed here that's putting these into the room or this platform. The problem is you never know for sure whether or not a news headline will be received positively or negatively, So I kind of really wait to see something moving. And this one got going on the scans. So MBOT, started pretty early here, right around 8:32 is when it first hit, and then it kept going from there. So MBOT has been the one that's been in focus right now. A couple others have hit the scanners here in the meantime, but I'm not sure that MBOT is going to be the safest one for me because of the price. So right now, I'm going to say it's a maybe. So we'll type it in my level 2 window, MBOT. So I have my trading platform on my lower window, so I can type in MBOT. And then I could just kind of keep the level 2 up and have it on watch, ready to go. All right, so volume profile. Highest volume was on a green candle. Volume on that red candle, pretty high as well. It's pulled back now. So a question there, why not HEPA? All right, so HEPA. So HEPA, couple problems with it. Right now, the main problem is that we had about a double top up here around 16 and it pulled back. So I was actually checking the filings on this. So I checked the 10Q. They just did a reverse split. So the float has been adjusted. On light speed here, it shows a 76 million shares outstanding. We showed the same thing in day trade dash here, 76. But they just had a reverse split, so that's just been updated. So that needs to get reflected through the market data vendors. But in any case, so while the float is now tolerable and okay, the price, it's back below volume weighted average price. So it's just not holding up super well. Kind of it is what it is, but yeah, it's just not holding up super well. So right now it looks too weak. And there are times where I'll buy something below VWAP, but that's not my favorite setup, and it's certainly not an easy setup for beginners. And even if I was going to, I'd probably want to see that it held this previous level and it's broken that level. So this one's no good right now to me. I don't like the chart. We can look at the overall market for a second. So S&P 500, trying to get up into, on Friday we hit the highest price on the S&P that we've hit since back in August, which was great. So we have a pivot on August 16th with a high of 426.37. So that's a level that I would look at for possible resistance up here, 426.37. And then above that, we've got a fair amount of room to the next level. So the market, is starting to get up into this area. Certainly some people think that it's extended and we're due for a pullback, and that may well be the case. But in any case, we're above the 200 moving average. So overall market looks decent. No concern there. I don't think it's gonna, there's really no concern there. So market's doing its thing, looks fine. So we've got about a little over 15 minutes to the bell. FRLN. Let's see. So this one's up 23%. You see this chart is kind of wild, right? It kind of pops up, sells off, pops up, sells off. I don't really like that. When I see these two topping tails, I'll show you. Let's see. So I see these topping tails like that. I don't like it. I just think that that's indicating too much weakness. It pops up, it reverses, pops up, reverses. And even right here and right here, it keeps doing that. I mean, it's not to say you haven't had some nice moves, but how can you really trust it? So I think it's going to be a little bit of a hard one to trust. Probably leaving that alone for right now. MBOT, MBOT coming back up here. Pre-market high is 184. So that one's coming back towards that level. Right now, the 1 minute sort of looks like an inverted head and shoulders pattern. So you've got the shoulder, the head, the shoulder, and then that would be sort of the beginning of the arm. But realistically, you'd come back to a double top at 185, and that's not that far away. I mean, it's only 9 cents away. So our upside potential feels sort of limited, which is one of the challenges with these lower priced stocks. This doesn't feel like there's a lot of upside potential. We had a nice channel here a bit earlier, and now it's broken out of that and sold off. So right now, I don't know. Maybe, maybe if it holds this level, we could get an ABCD pattern or something like that. But it just doesn't seem super obvious at the moment. Okay, so if there's something that you want me to look at that I might be missing, let me know. Got about 15 minutes to the opening bell. CNSP, sure. So CNSP below VWAP, the orange line's VWAP. So it's below that level right now, so that doesn't look that great. Pre-market high is 253. Float is 2.16 million shares, so the float's fine. The price is, a little low, but really it's the chart pre-market. It's not strong enough, it's selling off. Now, there's some types of people, some types of traders who will say, oh, I could buy it down here and, maybe it curls back up. Maybe, but I don't like to trade to try to speculate what something is going to do, really. I like to, I guess trading is that to a certain extent, but I like to trade something that's already moving nicely. Buy the pullback and then ride the next wave up. Buy the red candle, buy the next wave up. So I'm looking for something that's moving nicely. Something that's not moving cleanly, I have no interest in it right now. All right, so so that was that one. NCPL, Josh. All right, so let's look at this one. Yeah, no, again, this chart is not a clean chart. It's just selling off, right? It's just not a clean chart, unfortunately. AVIR, I can look at that. BioC, I'll look at that next. So AVIR, that's not bad, but the float, all right, so you've got an 82 million share float. It's not a recent reverse split, so I could just double check the filings on this. Let's see. Yep, it's 84 million right there. So That was a nice move, but I don't think it's gonna, I don't know if it'll sustain. BioC. Right. So this one put in a big move on Friday. You know, I mean, that was awesome. From 6 to 12. Yeah, but then right back down to 6. Then it went to 565. So what is it doing here? Well, you could call this a possible dead cat bounce, right? So sells off, a little bit of a bounce back up. Very unlikely it goes back to 12. Could it go back, you know, to 758? Maybe. You know, the thing is, you've got a big range. So it's not impossible that you get a little move like that and then it goes back. But I think that that's probably all it would be. It's just a little move and then a sell off. So I'd kind of prefer to be trading the front side of the move, like here, where you still have upside potential that who knows, it could go to 18 to 20. Up here, or in this area, your upside potential, I think, is really fairly limited. So that's BioC. FRLN, yep, I can look at that one again. Okay, so FRLN, right, so back below VWAP, 2 week right now. AVRO. AVRO is at least above VWAP, so right, it at least has that going for it. The float's 43 million shares though, so you've got a higher float. I don't know. I'm not seeing this one as being something that's going to give me 15 or 20 cents a share. 15 or 20 cents would be a huge move on this one. So, you know, I could adjust my expectation. I could say, I'm probably not going to get 15, 20 cents, but maybe I could get 8. Take bigger share size. It's got a lot of volume, but you know, then what if I end up catching that flush and getting stopped out as it drops? I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I don't think it's worth it. Okay, let's see. About 10 minutes to the open here. So, you know, so yeah, I am going to be a little bit picky, but you know, at the same time, that's what keeps me green. That's why my account's growing. It's because I am picky. You know, I know kind of generally speaking what I like to trade, and if I don't see something that quite fits within that, then it's better to not overstay my welcome. So, unlike a lot of traders, I'm green on the year. So, you know, this is it's just about making progress and making profit. There's no sense in punching the keys if I don't think that I'm going to make money. So, you know, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And detailed gross profit. Let's see. I mean, it's over 12 million, so. Just trying to keep myself from having unnecessary drawdowns. So I'm a little over 12 million in gross profit, and I do everything possible to avoid drawdowns. So if I have a drawdown of $5,000 or $10,000, you know, that's about as far as I want to let it go. I don't want to draw down, you know, 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand, $1 million. And I've seen people do it. Those of you guys who are tuning in, if you want to download a copy of my book, I'll post the link there for you. Let's see. There you go. So those of you guys that download a copy of my book, you'll get a couple other things as well. My micro pullback strategy lesson, my pre-trading checklist, my small account strategy worksheet. You'll be able to download these PDFs, my how to day trade ebook, and my technical analysis series. So I'm hoping that these all empower you guys to make good decisions as you're learning how to trade. I hope it helps you avoid the rookie mistakes that I made. I want you to take it slow, practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line. There's no reason to chase and get overly excited. The market will be here for you. So don't let FOMO take over. Be calm, cool, collected. And when you see good quality setups, you're going to know them and you're going to want to step up to the plate. Right now, for me, I'm just being patient. And today, I don't see anything that I really love. So, you know, unfortunately, it seems like kind of a slow Monday. I was hoping that we would start this week off with, you know, some really nice trades, but, well, leading gapper, it's 115%. That's fine, but it's a buyout. Second leader is 88% AVRO. That's a 44 million share float. HEPA, this one is below VWAP. MBOT, that one's at 168 right now. So none of these look awesome. We've got some continuation ideas that I was looking at earlier. So there may be some continuation opportunities. We had the recent IPO movers. Those both provided some fantastic opportunities. Had a great day on Thursday, great day of Friday, but I'm not sure that either of those are set up for an opportunity this morning. So someone on YouTube says, I struggle with averaging down. It comes from a fear of loss, hitting the sell button when I'm wrong. How can I get rid of it? So, I mean, I hear that all the time. There's so many traders that struggle with pressing that sell button, bailing out when something's not working. It requires emotional conditioning. So if you need a period of emotional conditioning, you may need to trade with smaller size for a little bit just to get yourself in the habit of cutting those losses quickly. And, you know, with small size, it just doesn't matter that much, right? Who cares? It's a small size position. Just cut it, let it go, and move on. So there's a nice breakout there, up to a high of 87 on MBOT. Again, this to me it's a nice breakout, relatively speaking, for a cheap stock. To me, it's still not really, it's not that big of a move. I mean, it's 8 cents, 10 cents. It's not really enough to get me that excited, but it is a breakout there. The high was 84, so it broke the high by 4 cents up to 88. Now it's pulling back a little bit. Yep, you can subscribe just to Day Trade Dash, just the scanners if you want. All right, so the high there is 188. So if there's no gappers, and I'm not taking any, there's no clean trades pre-market. So today, for instance, there's no clean trades pre-market. Sort of two options. The first option is just to say, you know what? I'm going to shut it down because I know that my best days start with hitting the daily goal pre-market and then just adding profit on top of that as the day goes on. Those are my best days. So today already isn't going to be one of my best days because I'm sitting down $27 coming into the open. Well, okay, so plan B, on the one hand, I could just walk away and I could enjoy the rest of the day and come back and do it again tomorrow. And that's great for capital preservation for those of us that, you know, have to go to a regular job after trading, or, you know, have just really only want to sit here for 2 hours a day. You're kind of in retirement mode, just trade 2 hours a day and then get out and enjoy life. Today's a day where you're not going to have a lot, and that's fine. You don't want to spend all day here. That's not the goal of being a trader. You want freedom, so you shut it down, you walk away. The other goal for traders that have the time and the interest to sit here longer, and the metrics that prove sitting here longer does pay, you sit and you wait to see what comes out of the opening range. So we'll have our opening range between 9:30, 9:45, 10 a.m. And then what comes out of that range? Do we end up having some stocks that show strength through the morning, 10:30, 11:30, 12? Do we have, then we kind of have a lunch break, a little bit of a lull. Sometimes there's momentum during a lunch break. You know, the market's not actually closed, but it's just lower volume. And then, you know, into the afternoon between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. So depending on your time zone and when you want to sit down, you can sit down at almost any time of the day and you can see stocks moving and you can try to find opportunities. It's just a question of your own metrics, your own consistency, your track record, and when you perform the best. So I'm going to be here for at least another hour. I'll probably be here till 11 for Warrior members. So I'm going to keep streaming. I'll be looking for opportunities and seeing still whether or not I have a chance at hitting the daily goal today. We'll need to see something that squeezes up and gives us a nice move, but that's certainly possible. It's still relatively early. All right, so that's the game plan. I will be ending this broadcast here on YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in for the morning show. We've got 1 minute to the open, and we've got a leading gapper this morning that's a buyout. Second leader is up 83%. Not a picture perfect gap scan, but I'll be back at it tomorrow, and let's see if we have something that looks better tomorrow. So for those of you streaming for the morning show, we'll see you tomorrow. Warrior students, we're going to keep trading here going into the open. Reminder as always, for those who have tuned in, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, and there's no guarantee you'll find success. So make sure you trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line, and I'll see you guys back at it tomorrow.